I'm just going to add this bit on at the beginning, and I'm talking this at the end of the day. I made my video yesterday, it's about 14 minutes long, so I'm making another one today, because at the end I'm going to add this bit in. No, I'm not, because at the end I'm going to explain what I'm doing about the gas meter cabinet. So this bit's going to be in at the beginning, prior to my beginning bit what I filmed this morning. So you got 2 beginnings and 2 videos in 2 days. I think that makes sense. So I need to cut my insulation into 90mm strips to reach the bottom of the wall plate. Stick them out there, 90, 180, 370. So I've made a series of marks, 90mm apart. And these are really good, because you only have to put 1 mark on. I'm not having to mark the top and the bottom, am I? There you are, all at 90mm, all nice and square. This is a square for cutting plasterboards. 1 metre 220 long, so it's go your 4-foot way. But you've just got to remember to pack your boards up off the floor, just so that the square sits properly on the top of the plasterboard. And then for cutting insulation, I have this blade in my saw, and it gives you a factory finish to your cut. I'll show you. And you get no dust. Get them snots what didn't come off properly yesterday. Fire acoustic and thermal sock. So these are 100x75. You just need to make sure you put them in the right way. You know, the 100 wants to be the width of the cavity. You just push in all nice and snug. Then in the event of a fire, they expand and seal off all your cavity. There you go, look. As Tommy Cooper used to say, just like that. Maybe not. Right, so that's the barriers in. See, down at the end there. All the way down. I've got the just going to do the gables now. And I know I've said it in the other video when I did the front of the roof. Let me show you. Don't forget to keep your insulation down. If you don't keep your insulation down and you come to put your barriers in, you're buggering about with your insulation. You see how many places, and like on YouTube as well, when they're building the cavities and you come to window openings and you can see it where they've left the cavity insulation flush with the block work. Then when you come to put your insulated cavity closer in, there's one in that window there in white, you can see it, that's rigid and it won't go in because the cavity insulation's there. Then they're there with saw blades or Stanley knife blades trying to rag it back, and it's crap. So you just want to be the thickness of your cavity closure or the thickness of your thermobate back. So it's all in the details, don't forget. There's just so many things you've got to remember, you know, and if you, once you've buggered up once, you won't forget again. Right, let me put these barriers up that cavity. So now's a good time just to get in and make sure that your insulation's back. Your insulation's back and your clips are right. You can just get a stick behind them. You can't get your hand in. Should so nice and snug at the bottom. Now I'm going to put all my little timbers at the bottom for carrying my eaves tray. Just same as what I did at the front, so I've got that all set out now. Right, so I'm just going to fire on the supports. For my eaves trays. Exactly the same as I did on the front. If you look in my previous video, it shows you how I set them out and my reasons why and one thing and another. I'm going to fire them on with my nail gun. This is a fantastic piece of kit. Goes to a compressor down in my garage. That's my airline. And the airline is brilliant. I've got a hose pipe at the top, which is one of them hose pipes which is supposed not to kink, but it does. This airline doesn't. It is so light, and when you've got it on the end of your air gun, you wouldn't even know you had the hose on. It's fantastic. You can set the depth of how far the nail goes in by turning that. You've got one fire nail, so when you pull the trigger it'll just fire one nail, or can turn that round to those two nails there. As soon as you touch something, it's just boom boom, instant, and this'll fire faster than you can move with it. Why I don't have a Pasload one, you know, one of the ones without a cable, is I've been off my tools for 25 years, so I'm only doing this project because it's mine. I won't be doing it for anybody else. So I don't need a Pasload because I don't got my tools on sites. Compressors in my garage, so it only makes sense to have the nail gun. You can pick these up. If you look around, I picked this up new. It was 160 quid. I'll use it on this job. I'll sell it again for 100, 120. So then it's only cost me 40 quid for nailing everything up. And it was a godsend on this roof because, alright, you've got to have the room to get the nail gun in, but you haven't got to find room to swing a hammer. And it's brilliant. I think it does between 50mm and 90mm nails. So there's a range of nails you can buy. So anybody doing any work at home with a compressor, you ought to look at something like this. You know, you buy them even cheaper second hand. I just bought it new, and I bought it for doing this job, so I'll never use it again. But it's absolutely brilliant piece of kit. So again, I'm gonna just mark the angle of all these timbers with me sliding bevel. These, not just these but other things, I've discovered the merits of tool station. Normally you go to Screwfix, don't you? But I've bought quite a few things now. I bought this, I think it was tool station, and a few other bits, fixings and that lot. Some of the stuff, it's like 50% of Screwfix, and tool stations in Scarborough is only like a couple of miles up the road. So if you're spending any money on quite a few bits, it might be worth you, if you've got one nearby, just comparing Screwfix with tool station. So I'll set my tray on. Get my lat. Set that to the angle of my tray. Mark it on there with a pencil mark. Transfer that pencil mark onto my sliding bevel, and I can go down and mark them all. But don't forget what I said in the other video about having a reference point on your bevel so that you get all your pencil marks in the right place. So I drill a little hole and stick a felt nail in, but then that one, what you want to do with these is always overlap them. So that one, you always want to overlap them by about 100mm. Give some support to the joint. So I'll just carry on down like that. I was talking to somebody at the front and they told me I came across as immature, but they're just poo-poo heads with stinky bums. Right, so I've got them on our way down there. So I'm going to start felting and latting now. And one thing, I'm not going to film all that because I've filmed it all at the front, but one thing what I am conscious of is these Velux window openings, and I'm going to fell and lat over them, and then when I set the Veluxes up I'll cut the lats out. But I'm conscious that I'm a big hefty bloke, tiny bits of wood, me falling through. I could ply underneath all the bottom of these openings, but I've got no ply. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get that scaffold which is in there and put it under this hole, and then if I fall through I'll land on that scaffolding. And then I've got some tins of spray paint there I borrowed off a neighbour, and I'm going to spray up the lats where the opening is on the top as a visual reminder to me, don't stand here. I do have some spray paint, but it's yellow and my lats are yellow, so it won't stand out. So I'm going to go inside now and I'm going inside for my scaffolding. But let me just show you something I meant to say last time about the lats on the front. Well, I remember. When you're latting, you need to think about the joints on your lats. That's me setting out lat. So I've got 3 lats with a joint there. Then my joint moves along. And I've got lats there with a joint. Then it moves along again. I've got 3 there. Oh, and then 3 over there. You need to stagger your joints so that they are not all over the same rafter. Just gives your roof more stability and strength. I've walked around the back of the roof and I'm supposed to be going inside to move my scaffolding. God, fire. This just shows why you need to mark your Veluxes and put something underneath. You know, you can just lose that bit of concentration. You've got your phone in your pocket and you've seen what people are like on the phones. They lose all sense of where they are. Next thing, you've tumbled through a roof. Not good. Thinking of this, but I didn't clip my ladder, did I? Get my washing line off. This is the piece of rope I had up tight to the scaffolding, and over there. I used to put it up and dry my Hessian off on it. What I've been using for covering up the brickwork. Tell you what I'll do, when I'll show you how to, just while I remember, I'll go do it in a minute. I'll show you how to coil a small thing of rope up in your hands so that it doesn't, hang on, so that it doesn't knot. I'll do that in a minute while I remember. You might find it interesting, you might not. Let me show you this bit when I was on about wrapping up, how you do this, and what you do, you just pull that from the middle, just keeps pulling out and out and out without knotting up. Show you do that. Let me just pull it out. What this is, it's a quick deploy ridge line which I use for when I go hammock camping. So you get the working end, the end what you're going to put around your tree or use, pull out first, and you let it hang between your finger and thumb. Then get your rope and just wrap it between your finger and thumb in a figure 8 like that. You've really got to push your finger apart to do it, so we'll get there, hang on. 50 foot on here. I wish I had longer fingers. My fingers are like cow's tits, they're short and stubby. So then when you've about 6 foot hanging, you grab all that and your loose end in your hand like that. And you get your rope, so you wrap it round so it's all tidy like that. Then when you come to the end, you're going to form a cross like that. Do you see? See the cross there? And you're going to get your end put it under that one. So you've pulled it under both pieces of the knot. And then where it crosses like that, that's where you want that loose end under the middle. Just give her a tighten up. Just tidy it up. There. And then all you do, you pull that out and it'll just pull out the middle without knotting up. That's not to do with building, is it? You're not going to believe this. I had a stack of scaffold boards out on my scaffolding, some short ones. I think I had 8. There's 2. Somebody's taken 6 of my short boards. I don't believe it. Right, let me go root some more out. Right, I'd like to thank everybody who made the comments in the last video regarding the gas meter cupboard, and I've got my answer, what I'm going to do, and it's something what I discounted, and I'm going to explain why and show you why. And then when the comment was made last night, I just thought, blooming heck, and it just came into my head straight away what I can do, and it just cures so many problems. So let me go show you. One of my biggest gripes is pipes and cables. People just put them in where it's easiest or the shortest route or whatever, a multitude of reasons, without making any thought to see if there's anywhere better or neater or whatever. And this gas meter cupboard has always bugged me. I originally wanted it to go there because then the pipe out of it had gone straight through that wall, but like I said, I was dictated to. I originally looked at a floor mounted meter cabinet, and I discounted that because of this. I'd always imagined that the gas meter would be on this wall here, and the service pipe, I'd dig it and it would go straight down the side of that bush on that yellow bag. So here you've got a difference in levels between here and the drive. So my door level is there, and it's considerably higher than here. I bet it must be 4 bricks higher than this level here, and of course it gets higher the further you go down the drive because this slopes, and I didn't want access to be from this house down this drive, even though that is the common sense approach. You come up the drive and in there. But even though I've made all this as one big plot, it is still 2 separate houses on the deeds. So this house needs to have its own entrance, way in and out. You know, because you never know what happens in the future, do you? And one of my other reasons is it needs to be wheelchair friendly. So I've been going round my house, my gardens, and I've been doing away with all steps so that I can come out my back door and I can go around in a wheelchair if need be. So I've been trying to make everywhere wheelchair friendly. So a floor mounted meter box comes out, I think it's 330mm, and I didn't measure it out, but I thought 330mm down there, and a path and a bit of a bank and one thing and another. I just thought it was pushing, you know, you're getting closer to an edge. So I discounted the floor mounted meter box for that reason. You know, the one which goes in the ground, hence the wall mounted one. But yesterday somebody said floor mounted cabinet, and as soon as they said it, I'm going to put it here. Down there, 2 meters from that corner within the guidelines. I've got a down pipe coming there with a hopper, so I need to bypass, get around that hopper, and then the service pipe from it, I'll come down there straight down the bank, and then the pipe for the gas supply, I'll come under the ground up there down the back and in under some units. So then it gets rid of the gas meter cabinet in the gable. It gets rid of the service pipe which goes up the wall. It gets rid of the bloody stupid pipe I've got to outside for the internal service. And you won't see it around that corner. I can hide it round a bit of a bush or something like that. So if somebody hadn't have said, and I know there's a couple of you who said it, gas mounted box, floor mounted box. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna sell the cabinet I've got for there. I'll chop all them bricks out and I'll brick it up. Job's a good one, so I'm so pleased I asked. I get the comments about the sticker fading, so I appreciated that. I did like the idea with the brick slips, but then what was going on in my head there was the weight on the gas meter door, because they're just on little pins, aren't they? And I'm not sure if I'd take the weight. And then I've still got the two service pipes. So I've always just wanted to hide the bloody lot. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get Network Gas, is it, or I forget, to reprice my service pipe because it'll be a shorter run. And I'm gonna buy a cabinet, and that's the way I'm gonna go. So I've got a lot of wins there, so thank you very much everybody for the comments, and it's good to have loads of comments in the pot, you know what I mean, because anything can just trigger an idea. So I appreciated them all, and thank you very much.